in-ring action from Ronda Rousey, Kevin Owens and Elias, and a visit from Shawn Michaels. All that and more on Frog Splash Live.
And it starts right now.
Welcome to Frog Splash Live, the show where real fans review wrestling. I'm Tyler Hendrickson, and in the studio, once again, David. David, wow. What a show tonight.
What a show. Live from Seattle, Washington.
Very clear that they're getting ready for the Super Showdown, for sure. Not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all.
I built up a lot of hype to it.
For sure. Show opens with your guy,
Dean Ambrose.
Ambrose. Insane. Definitely
Yes.
insane. So he's interviewed by Charlie, right?
Yeah. Well,
And he's
take a time to notice that he did not have his typical Shield attire on with the vest and everything.
See?
So it makes you wonder how they're building that up.
Yeah. I mean, well, coming back from last week, they're trying to crack the Shield, right? And they're trying to say, like, well, it's Dolph and Braun and McIntyre, and they're trying to say that he doesn't have the championship gold.
Yeah, like they got all the credit.
Hey, buddy, your waist is looking a little bare compared to your boys. What did I say earlier? Like Braun, you walk up to him in the bar. Is there a problem here, Hoss? Hey, Hoss.
Hey, Hoss, how you doing?
There's a problem here. So he's straight hossing him. And kind of interesting. So Charlie's asking, like, is there any truth to that?
Well, Dean did bring up some good points that people are talking about, like how when he got injured, Rollins quickly replaced him with Jason Jordan and got the tag team titles. So that's one thing. Like, I'm sure that didn't sit well with Dean.
Yeah, for sure. And he's taking the dog tags out.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even know they had dog tags, to be
Neither
honest.
did I.
This is the first time I've ever seen the dog tags, to be honest.
Make him think it's actually a brotherhood now.
He's like, and I'm taking these dog tags off. Team, we've never seen the dog tags before. They had to, like, come up with something.
Still real to me, damn it.
It's like when your friend takes off your best friend rings, but you never even had any. Dean, we never had them. I feel bad for him, though. He got injured. He was having a decent run on SmackDown, like last year.
WWE champion.
And then he's like, and Seth is so quick to replace me. Jeez.
They got championships and I don't.
I feel bad for him, to be honest, but he's holding his own.
Yeah.
I can't wait to talk about what happened with Seth though tonight. Wow, he's just
Oh man.
he had a good night for
Oh,
sure.
yeah, definitely. So after Dean Ambrose teases the heel turn that he says can come at any time.
Right. He's saying, like, I can leave.
Yeah.
He's saying all these what ifs, and
Yeah.
and the crowd's like, what?
So we have Baron Corbin come out
Right.
and
And he's like, hold it.
hold everything.
And he's the world's largest substitute teacher. You look like the world's largest substitute teacher or something like that. So he gives him like 3 options for matches tonight. He's like,
Yeah.
Dean, you can face Seth Rollins for the IC Championship, the Intercontinental Championship. You can face Roman,
for the Universal Championship.
or you can have none of that and just fight Braun for nothing. And okay, you get it. Like he's not gonna face his boys, his brotherhood, but
He doesn't want to do what they said, so he's like, you know what? I got an option D.
what's
Me versus you. So
But
they
in
go
real
at it.
life though, you're taking that championship.
Yeah, for real.
You
If I was in a situation,
You have a chance to go right after the top dog, or
the big dog.
how about Rule D? So, what does he say though when he's like Rule D? I don't do anything.
He's like, well, I'm gonna pick the 4th option, something you didn't give me to do. Or something, I don't know.
Yeah. But then Corbin's like, nah, you're gonna fight Braun. So he's like, okay. So then I think the match, it just goes like commercial break and then it's right back into the match, right?
Yeah.
Braun comes out.
Yeah, Braun is dominating early on.
Yeah, match starts
obviously.
out. Obviously, Braun is just like towering over Dean, but Dean is going after the legs
Oh yeah,
throughout the match.
Dean is getting really crafty to take him out.
And really, very few people can go like toe to toe with Braun's strength and speed wise.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to do one of two things
Yeah, it's
in
smart.
these types of matches. You're gonna have to either go after like their legs or like a body part,
Or just start doing something outside the box.
that or like you know like kind of running around using speed.
But that
Dean's
doesn't
not
really
that
work
quick
on.
though.
That doesn't work on Braun. Braun is fast.
Right. Unless you're Leo now. Yeah, Braun is. I think in a moment in that match, he threw Dean into the corner and he went to the other corner. You know, ran and did like a splash on him, and he runs just as fast as like cruiserweights.
Yeah, like, that's crazy. That's what I love about Braun. He's not just
I've yeah.
Braun. He's also speedy.
I've never seen a guy that size move that quick, and it's just so brutal to watch.
It is. It is.
So he's. Oh, did you notice when Dean was grabbing Braun's beard as like a way?
Yeah.
There you go. If you hell you out there, if you want to beat Braun, you got to grab his
If
beard.
you want to beat someone bigger than you, gotta grab their beard.
I have no beard.
Don't grab my beard, horse.
Don't grab my beard off. No way. Do you guys imagine that? Just Braun straight up saying, calling people Hoss, like my uncle. Hey, Hoss.
Hey, you guys got a beard for me, horse?
I can see you saying that for sure.
Walk up in a bar, just some random guy sitting there
Hey,
at the
horse.
bar. Hey, horse, you gonna buy me a beer?
Sure, man. I'll do anything for you. But in the middle of the match, Dean goes for a sunset flip, and obviously he can't pull Braun down. But I noticed, like normally when that happens in a match, the guy delivering the sunset flip, he just kind of sits there for a minute, kind of looks around, like, oh, I
Yeah.
can't get him down. But then instead of doing that, Dean just quickly changes pace, and he goes after the knee again.
Yeah.
So that was really interesting to see.
I don't know if you caught it, but when Braun had Dean on the ground in the corner, he's like, "The Shield ain't gonna save you."
Yeah, I
thought
like
that
when-
was really good.
I like those subtle things that are easy to miss. I missed it where they add insult to injury. Kevin Owens
Yeah.
is really good at that.
Oh yeah, definitely. When he has him in the headlock,
Yeah, that's a big part of the psychological piece, I think.
and then Dean got him outside and
Oh yeah, right.
just started like wailing on him and stuff, doing what he can.
But Braun, he did something outside. He definitely threw him against the barricade. I think there was like a close call, but the match didn't last too long.
Yeah, I liked it. There was a couple of near falls. I mean, he had a dirty deeds, and I thought it could have been 3, but he kicked
Right.
out.
Oh yeah, he hit the dirty deeds, and that was a close too.
Oh yeah, there was a couple close to us
Yeah.
tonight.
Right. But then, David, what happened?
Well-
You think what do you think's gonna happen before that? You think Dean's gonna get the win? He's looking pretty good.
Yeah, he's looking pretty good, but then
I don't
Braun
know if
hit
he can-
the
yeah.
hit the power slam on him.
To be perfectly honest, I thought Braun was gonna just get the win,
Yeah.
but no, folks.
Braun hits the power slam. He picks Dean up to go for another power
over,
slam.
right?
And who comes out? Roman, the big dog, Reigns. My favorite
1/3
wrestler
of
of
the
all
Shield.
time.
So you think that Braun's winning the match, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you thought Dean was looking pretty good. Braun hits the power slam, going for a second, and that definitely would have been a 3, right?
Yeah.
If he hit the second, that would have been over.
The first one would have probably been a 3.
Maybe, yeah. But then you get Roman coming out, and he gets a quick Superman punch to Braun, but he doesn't hit the full punch. He gets a bit of it, and Braun doesn't hit the mat. Obviously, he just kind of stumbles into the corner.
Yeah, and then Seth Rollins comes out
There we go.
out of nowhere
good
with that
pop.
flying
Good
knee.
pop. Seattle's a hot crowd tonight.
It is.
for most of it, and they pop pretty loud for Seth. They're excited to see him, and he springboards.
The knee hits Braun, and
Looks
the
good.
Shield starts taking him out until the trio, as I like to call them, comes out.
The Super Showdown trio.
And the
Yeah.
Shield manages to fight him off.
Right.
And then Chancellor Baron Corbin comes
Yep.
out.
And he's like, hold everything.
You guys ain't making the rules in
You
here.
look like the world's largest substitute.
He says, yeah, makes a match, Seth versus Drew and Dolph versus Roman, which starts right now
Yeah, right. Yeah, so he's like, all
after a
right.
commercial break.
Right. He's like, tonight you got Seth versus
Drew.
but and then you got Roman versus Dolph, but not in that order. And it starts right now. So we get a commercial break, and then Roman and Dolph are ready to go.
But before that,
Oh, this was interesting though. Remember? So wait, what were you gonna say?
just that before the match, Dean and Seth were backstage talking.
Was that before the match?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That
So
was like right after the commercial.
just before the match with Roman and Dolph, you get Seth talking to Dean, and Dean's icing his shoulder in pain, and Seth is just trying to be like, "Oh, dude, we were just trying to help."
And he's like, then what I loved about that segment was Dean saying, "Well, I could be Intercontinental Champion right
Right.
now."
So you get that sort of like cracking of the shield.
Like he's putting the whole group over more than himself.
For sure. Now, question about that. Do you think Dean could beat Seth for the Intercontinental Championship?
Yes,
Really?
yes, I 100% believe it.
Tell me about that.
Well, Dean Ambrose is hot. You don't know what he's gonna do right now.
That's true.
It's like you can even tell the Shield don't even know what he's doing. He's the loose cannon,
Yeah.
ready to pop. It's boiling and boiling and boiling.
He's got that year that he was just at home watching.
Watching Roman win the championship, watching Seth win the championship.
So you think because of that intensity that
He wants it to be his time, and he'll do anything to get it. But right now, he's just putting the Shield above himself.
yeah.
So that it's coming. Like he said earlier, he's just waiting for the right opportunity.
Right. And that really does add to the insane character, I think. That he's got these buddies.
The little buddy.
He's got these little buddies, but he can just snap just like that.
Why?
So after that little segment, you get Roman versus Dolph. And remember we were talking about this. So Roman says something to the ref and he's pointing to the belt.
Oh yeah, and he's like, the
Something-
ref goes to hold up the title for a championship match.
Right. So then we're thinking like, oh, wait,
wow, wait,
did we
what?
miss something? Is this a championship match? And
then
just to let you know, they didn't say anything about it being a championship match. So we're just like, whoa. So Roman tried to make it a championship match because he's trying to be the defending champion, the opposite of Brock. But what happens
Baron Corbin comes
again?
out.
He's
I don't know where I didn't know he was gonna come out. I thought it was just a championship match.
right.
Once again, saying that he just told Roman Reigns he don't make the rules. Baron does,
He's grounding Roman. He's really flexing that power.
and he said this is not a title match, and the Seth versus Drew is not a title match either.
Right. And we want to see a fighting champion,
Oh yeah, that's always good.
especially with Brock.
It puts what's that called? It puts emphasis on the title's importance.
Definitely. And it's nice to see. I mean, remember when John Cena did that with the United States Championship to kind of, just build it up again. When you see the championship, but it's never defended like how Brock had it, it just kind of loses its charm. So it wasn't a championship match. We thought it might be, but I just don't really see Dolph getting a pin over him in a championship match, you know?
Yeah.
But that would have been exciting. I would like to see that for sure.
Now the match itself was enjoyable.
It was. I noticed. See, I wrote down that it was just very quick paced initially. Like Dolph was really moving in that match, and
Oh, yeah.
and he had Roman grounded for a bit. He was. He got him in a hold.
Dolph ran him into the ring post,
Yeah.
took him out for a little bit, but then I don't know if it was a mess up, but it looked kind of messy to me when Dolph hit the Fameasser, and like it just looked like Roman tried to dodge it but didn't,
Oh yeah.
and that was a
right.
close.
So it's like he didn't get all of it, kind
Yeah.
of thing. Yeah. Close three though. And I kind of had the feeling, and I even said this to you. I thought Dean was gonna
Yeah, like
come out and interrupt the match. You know, he's angry in the back that
Yeah.
they interrupted his match, and I thought, but I don't know. That would kind of take away from the pay-per-view Super Showdown. So that makes sense that he didn't come out, but I was just wondering if that would have been a possibility. But no interruption.
just
Just a pretty clean win from Roman. He hits the spear.
1, 2, 3,
Right.
and that's it.
Yeah, solid match, pretty quick, and,
Yeah.
and just kind of building towards Super Showdown. You know, giving each person their individual match,
Yeah.
just to build that, and we've seen that before. So, solid match.
Oh yeah.
And then you have Ronda Rousey and the Bella Twins versus Ruby Riott and the Riott Squad. Now I know how you feel.
This is a singles match right now between Ronda.
Yeah, oh,
and-
sorry. Yeah. They're just with them. That's all I meant. Is that
Yeah.
they're They're in their respective corners. Anytime I can see Ronda, she's just a
WWE makes it look sexy.
yeah. I mean, like beginning of the match, she hits Ruby with 3 back-to-back like intense arm drags, like whipping her, and you just don't really see that.
Yeah, like
From anyone.
Yeah, you really don't. But what surprised me the most is Ruby was actually getting offense in on Ronda.
Oh yeah, you said that right, because I mean, pretty much every match that Ronda's had, she's dominated. You know, and I think what happened was Ruby is kind of this. She's a brawler, you know.
Yeah, she ain't sure.
Yeah,
She's
not technical,
she's there to fight.
right? And I don't think Ronda was really used to that, or
Yeah.
that's what they're showing anyway.
She wasn't used to someone who can get out there and just brawl with her.
Right. Especially from like an MMA
I just
background.
want
It's
I
more
just want to
technical.
point out that Liv Morgan was out there with him, and I'm really happy that she's okay.
Yeah, good to see her because she had that injury from
The concussion from the Bella twins
Last week.
pre-Bella.
in their match from the Yes Kicks. So yeah, glad to see her back. And of course, you had the Bella twins in Ronda's corner. You know.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw that, but Ruby had her finger in like Ronda's mouth, like pulling it back.
Right.
And for some reason, I just love stuff like that. Like what Randy Orton's doing with Jeff Hardy in his ear. It's like creepy. It's like
Very creepy.
It's like
mandible
oh my
claw
God, why
kind
the-
of stuff.
yeah, like it's like something like you're not used to seeing,
Right. It's just a
and I just eat that stuff up.
dirty fighting style, and that adds to Ronda just not being used to that.
Yeah, like she thought that she knows what's up, but
Right.
she got to realize there's
Doesn't
a
know
lot
that side of it.
yeah of the division.
Right. So very interesting. Caught her off guard for sure. And
Oh, and there was a near fall when Ronda went to attack Sarah Logan, and Ruby rolled her up for the schoolgirl.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God, she's about to get it. And it was so close. It was like so close to being 3, and I was just like,
yeah, right.
oh man.
That could have been it right there.
So Ronda eventually slaps on the armbar, quick tap out. And
Just
Ronda
before
wins.
that, though, she hits like this Samoan drop.
That spinning Samoa drop.
Kind of spins with it,
Yeah.
and it just really makes your opponent hit the mat hard.
Oh yeah,
especially adding that spin.
that looks painful.
It's already bad enough that you're dropping your body on that person, but you're also adding a spin.
Yeah,
to
and
it.
she does that to Triple H. She did that to Triple H. When I first saw it, I was like, holy shit! It's
Yeah,
like
puts it in perspective for sure. And then yeah, like you said, that hits the armbar, and it's like before it's even fully locked in, she taps. Like it's so quick.
because the armbar that can really damage your arm. Like even in like UFC, they know it's either tap or snap, and like most people tap out because they don't want their arm to be hurt.
Right, especially before a huge pay-per-view.
Yeah, like it's you lose the battle, but you get a chance to win the war.
Right.
Basically, from that.
Yeah. And I asked you, like, has Ronda even won from a pinfall? And we don't
no.
think so, unless you've seen that. Leave a comment. But I think every match that she's been in
Ended with submission.
with armbar, and that's something to say right there.
Even in UFC, she was winning with arm bars.
Yeah, you're a badass if all of your wins are from submission.
Yeah.
You're making your opponents say, "I quit."
Yeah, like the pin is a win, but a tap out is
Any old
defeat.
Joe can get knocked out and get pinned for 3 seconds. You can knock yourself out running into the turnbuckle.
But the submit, that's defeat right there.
But thinking about that, you know what I haven't seen in a while? You're passed out. The referee does like the 3
Oh,
arm lifts.
yeah.
That's like a classic
Oh
thing
my
right
God,
there.
that was big back in the day.
That was big. So basically, if you haven't seen that, so when you're passed out on the mat from a submission move or whatever,
Yeah, like
the
they're
ref would
holding
come
it in
over.
there.
The ref would come over and he would lift your arm up and for about like a foot high, and then just drop it. And if you didn't respond by 3 of those, then it was over.
But every time, 90% of the time.
Oh yeah, no, I think 100% of the time.
Nah, I saw a couple matches.
Very rare when someone
Yeah,
loses that
like,
way from
they-
3 drops.
They
You get the 1, right? You get
hold
the
their
run,
arm up.
You get the 2, and then on the third
On the
drop,
third.
an inch from the mat.
Nope.
Nope.
No.
Yeah, it was cool though back in the day.
Yeah.
They just overused it a bit, but
That added real emphasis on matches.
yeah, it was a great it could be a great turning point
Mm-hmm.
for the match. What'd you think of that match though?
I loved it.
Yeah, it was very odd to see Ronda in that position where she's not just dominating the whole time.
Yeah, like it's good to see her actually getting hurt, being on the defensive more.
And I think last week, Super Showdown, I was asking, or I brought up, like, I wonder what times that's going to be. Well, we learned out for sure. They waited, I feel like they waited until the very last week. It's going to be, if you live in on the East Coast of the U.S.,
5 a.m.
yeah, and I think 2 a.m. if you're on the West
Yeah.
Coast. And they even, like, almost apologized for it in the middle of the show. They were like, hey, if you
Yeah,
can't...
I looked at Renee Young when they said it, and she was like rolling her eyes, like, "Come on now."
if you can't get up before the sun rises to watch this pay-per-view, you can watch it later on demand. So
On the WWE Network,
we're getting up at 5 a.m. to watch that.
$9.99, first month free for new
Yeah,
subscribers.
We'll give you the one for free since you got to wake up at 5 a.m. But I'm excited for that. I think it's going to be a good one.
But seriously, though, if you're not subscribed to the WWE Network, you should really get subscribed. It's worth it, in my opinion.
Well, not only do you get the pay-per-views, which is already a steal, because, like, before WWE
Yeah, it
Network,
was like $40.
yeah, you would buy a pay-per-view for like $40 or $50. Now, luckily, back then, my mom would open her wallet for me. But nowadays, it just doesn't make sense. So,
But $10 a month ain't bad because you get the pay-per-view that month.
but Mom, this one's Backlash. I thought you just had a pay-per-view. This one's Backlash. JBL is gonna be fighting.
You don't gotta sit there and beg your mom for the lesser pay-per-views because you have WWE Network $10 a month. You get all this cool stuff. And
Yeah,
everything.
I like going back and watching.
Shoot,
Like,
WWE sponsor us. We'll promote you.
yeah, right. Nah. And then you had Bobby Roode with Chad Gable and
Versus
Connor.
Connor.
We thought it was Victor. They're very
Yeah.
very easy to get mixed up.
Because Connor
the
fought.
Ascension.
Connor fought last week and won, and I was not expecting this. I thought it was gonna be like switched up.
Yeah. Now I know you're a big fan of Bobby Roode.
Oh, I love Bobby Roode. I always loved Bobby Roode, even from other promotions.
Yeah. But I just noticed that the crowd was just a bit quiet for this one.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of talked about that a little bit. Like, why do you think? I mean, Bobby Roode's awesome, and Ascension, they're great. They had a great run at NXT, and we're just kind of thinking that the Ascension hasn't really found like a solid footing
Yeah.
on Raw yet.
Well, they've been there for a couple years, and they still haven't found it. Like,
That's tricky.
I don't like once you get off to a bad start, it's really hard to come back.
What do you think the bad start was, or do you think it was just timing?
It was, I can't remember when they first started to get on the main roster and stuff, but
Yeah.
I just remember like something happened, and then like they lost all their momentum.
Well, I think around the time they were there, I think Big Cass and Enzio were like kind of taking over that.
No, they were a little before it. I knew New Day was very big,
Mm-hmm.
so I think the New Day just
Yeah.
popularity overshadowed everything in the division. But that's a story for another day.
Right.
Back to the match.
Interesting. Yeah. If you know more about like, or have an idea of why the Ascension hasn't really found their footing, or maybe you do think they have, and we're just wrong, just leave a comment and let us know because we want to learn more about this. But it was a quick match, maybe 10 minutes, if that.
Yeah.
And Connor.
But I like the finish because Victor grabbed up Chad and like distracted him, and
Right.
then Connor came in for the win.
Yeah.
But it was a good match.
Yeah, and I think when you get a quick win like that, it's just so, you run out of the
Connor-
ring real quick and you're like, yeah,
Connor beats both of them back to back. I don't know exactly what it does for
sure.
Rude and Chat and Gable.
Right.
Got
I
beat by
don't-
the same person.
And I don't really know what it does for the Ascension, honestly.
I mean, it proves that they're good. I mean, they're big and everything.
sure, but these are like singles matches.
Yeah.
And it only helps if anything, but I don't know. That's never really done much for me when a tag team wins singles matches. You know?
Yeah.
But it was fine. The crowd was just a bit quiet there.
Yeah.
But then, David, you get a moment of bliss.
Oh man, I love my moments of bliss.
So Alexa Bliss has this little moment of bliss. She's on the screen, right? And she starts telling this. Well, first of all, she brings up that she has a match with Trish Stratus at the Evolution pay-per-view.
Yeah, she was saying how
I didn't know that. That's really exciting.
Yeah,
Because Trish Stratus, didn't she come back for like a...
she came back for the Royal Rumble
Oh, yeah, yep.
and all.
Wasn't in for very long, right? Or had a
No,
little...
she was number 30.
Oh, okay.
Big pop on that one. Like
Oh,
that was
yeah.
like one of the biggest Rumble pops ever.
Right. Well, Trish is awesome.
Yeah, everyone loves Trish.
And I'm glad to see her back in the ring a little bit. But she starts telling this story
In the
about
freezing cold.
Yeah, she's 7 years old, waiting outside an event in the freezing cold with her autograph book.
Which is her life apparently.
Right. And
So-
and Trish comes up to her, and she asks for Trish's autograph, and she burps in my face.
Burps in the face and said, "You got $50."
No, this autograph book is all I have. So she ripped my autograph book in half. Damn,
Oh man.
that's a hard one to believe. But anytime someone tells a little story like that, storytelling is such a great way to connect.
It is.
It reminds me of when we met John Cena at Best Buy.
Yeah. Right after his rap album dropped, which is the
Oh,
greatest album
yeah.
ever.
we got the CD signed, and WrestleMania 21,
21. Yeah, get the box set.
and his producer was there. No one knew him. Yeah, that was cool. So yeah, it's when you tell stories like that, even if they're untrue, it's like a funny way to connect, and it just adds.
Yeah. And Alexa Bliss is really good at like talking in general and telling the story. Like I love Alexa Bliss and everything she does. I'm just gonna put it like that.
Yeah. And I think this is when I really started to notice the commercial breaks, and they keep
my
they
God.
keep showing this The Purge, the 10,
Yeah.
10 episode show that's coming out on USA, which
And they
seems
always
pretty
showed
cool.
the commercial with Bob's Burgers.
Oh yeah,
and
the
Arby's.
Arby's. But it made me think, where would I hide for the Purge? Especially if it's,
Oh my
especially if it's a 10 episode series. I gotta find a good spot.
Gonna
Here it is.
I'll let you.
I'm gonna hide in my mom's basement in those big plastic containers that you store your stuff in the basement. I'm gonna hide in one in the corner, but not the one on the floor. The one on top of that, not the one on the very top, but the one right in the middle. And then I'm gonna have like 2 or 3 more rows of 3 in front of that, and I'm gonna have Arby's.
Just imagine this: someone opening up and just seeing you in there.
Yeah, they're looking through these tubs.
What you doing, Hoss?
Hey, Hoss.
Get out of there.
Hey, Hoss. So think about that. Where are you going to hide for the Purge, you know? Hey, Hoss. I'm looking for my Arby's. Or it's like, hey, Hoss. I'm looking for my Arby's.
Hey, Hoss, how you doing?
and then just put the lid back on and leave. Man, those commercials, they really stick. So after that 50th commercial break, we get the B Team versus the Revival.
Oh man.
And what's B Team's thing when they come out?
B team, go.
And the crowd loves that.
Oh, it really is catchy. It's easy to get behind them. They are very likable people.
And you have to have a little thing like that the crowd like can cheer as you kind of build popularity. That adds so much to that. And then you got the Revival.
Like I said last week, I love the Revival. Everything they do.
Same. They're a little underrated.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They're definitely one of the most well-oiled machines.
But last week they proved they can go.
Yeah. And that was another pretty quick match.
Yeah.
I remember the quick pin at the end.
With they're going for the rocket launcher. Shout out to Big Cass and Enzo.
Oh,
But the Rival went for the rocket launcher. Bo Dallas had the knees up. Curtis Axel pulled Dash out of the ring, and then Dawson got rolled up by Bo for the 1, 2, 3.
and then I'm thinking at that point, like, okay, that's something.
Yeah, it's a quick match, you know.
But then
The authors
a pain just come out of nowhere, and
blindsided them.
and they just start attacking the B Team. I think on the entrance ramp.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it happens so fast. If you're watching the show, you're like, to be honest, I was like drifting out a little bit. I was like, and then out of nowhere, Authors of Pain come out, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's just so unexpected. Because normally it happens when they're in the ring and the music breaks and then they run out and you have like a moment to catch up. But this just happens so quick.
That's what I like. It's like, like in wrestling, it's like, well, my friend's getting beat up in the ring. hip hop music. But if it's real, like
Yeah.
you would run out there,
Right.
and that's what I like. How they just ran out there without the. I understand the music gives like dramatic effect, but the authors of pain is coming out there. I think it did more than actually having music, and I like that.
Well, you see how it affected me. Like, you're kind of drifting from the match because there's
Yeah.
not much, and then that also adds a dynamic to that.
They hit that power bomb. I think it's called
Yeah,
Super Collider.
It's almost like when you dink your drinks and you sink
Yeah.
them, dink, and then you power bomb them.
By two huge men, man.
Hey, Hoss.
You wouldn't want to run into them in a back alley with Braun Strowman. Hey, Hoss. Hey, Hoss.
Hey, Hoss. Dean, hashtag Hey Hoss. And then you had another backstage with Dean, but this time,
With Roman.
right. And very similar kind of concept as earlier when Dean and Seth were in the back. But this time Roman is kind of saying very similar things, but Dean twisted around and he's like, I could be the WWE champion.
Universal Champion.
WWE Universal Champion. Sorry. And it's just building that and Dean is like even more angry at this point, still holding his shoulder in the back.
Oh, man, that really hurt.
But it's still adding to that, and I'm just thinking, like, are they even gonna make it to the Super Showdown the way this is going?
Yeah. Like so much tension and cut it with a knife.
Yeah, right. And it's just like ready to explode. Now, do you think Dean is gonna crack at Super Showdown?
I think something's going to happen, yes. I think...
Do you think it's the full crack of the Shield?
I think it's going to be a Seth Rollins 2.0, but with Dean Ambrose.
Whoa.
Standing in the ring, all three of them. Dean gets the chair.
I just don't know if I see that at the Super Showdown pay-per-view. Why not wait for Raw the next day?
I mean...
Why not at Super Showdown, Dean leaves or something that shows like, oh man, it's over. And the next day, you get something like that.
I was going to say something, but I actually agree with that a lot. Like, when you think about it, it's like they want to have something talking about the Super Showdown.
And because that's going to be, on Saturday, and then you got Raw on Monday, that's going to let that build. For
like...
He's steaming over the weekend.
What's he doing? Like, why do you do that?
Right.
We ain't going to find out.
Until Monday Night Raw. So I can see that.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, like what Evolution,
Oh, with
they were celebrating and then Randy got screwed. Maybe something like that. But I don't really see. That would be crazy though if Seth and Roman turned on Dean.
That would be insane.
That would build such a serious resentment.
I think Roman will actually. Yeah, Roman will be booed by almost everyone. Instead of having that Roman sucks, let's go Roman, it would just be straight booed.
How do you think the Shield should crack? Leave a comment. Let us know. I would like to see that. Definitely Roman, but maybe Roman and Seth turning on Dean.
That's thinking outside the box.
And then Dean just losing it. Like, my boys.
Oh, that's why you do that.
my boys turn on me, and then he just loses it.
Like the next night on Raw, just have him go out there and just wreck everything.
Yeah, that would be
Pull
awesome.
a Stone Cold, get a beer truck in there.
See, yeah, something like that where he just goes in and just an ultimate heel turn.
Mm-hmm.
My friends. Yeah. After that, on a
Positive note.
yeah, positive note, the Susan Komen Foundation raising money for breast cancer research. They had a couple people from the team.
I like that the whole segment. I like how they're
Yeah.
adding this good stuff in there, like the Make a Wish and now this breast cancer
Connor
awareness.
Crusher, yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. And Komen.org/donate WWE is where you can make a donation for that. So that was nice. Nice contrast. And it is great how WWE has a huge fan base and they use that to raise awareness of issues and raise some funds as well. So really nice. Then it goes into Braun, Dolph, and Drew backstage now. Do you remember that segment?
Yeah.
They're talking, and Braun is Dolph, you need this win. I think he's talking to Dolph.
No, he's talking
To
Drew.
To Drew, right? And
Like, you need this win.
Hoss.
You need this win, Hoss.
Dude, can Braun just start saying Hoss, please?
You can get these hands, Hoss.
Yeah, you can get these hands, Hoss. That'd be awesome. But he's just putting the heat on Drew, saying like, "You need this win, Hoss." So we can. All right, we're gonna stop. Just kind of building into Super Showdown.
And they looked at Dolph about being the weakest link that they have there.
Right.
And then both of them just leaving. Like, not even Drew was backing him up. They were gone.
Yeah, but I don't see these three sticking around much after Super Showdown. I think it's just gonna fizzle after that match. So I don't see too much there. Although they're an interesting trio.
Oh yeah. Dolph being the small one, Braun and Drew being gigantic.
Yeah. Right. Oh yeah. Remember we were commenting that Braun and Drew are so huge that
Yeah.
that Dolph just looked like
A little
he looked so
child.
tiny. Yeah, he just looked like a small little
It's like
dude.
it's like two high school kids hanging out with one of their little brothers.
Hey.
Yeah,
But in
sorry.
reality, Dolph is like 6'1". He's
sorry,
taller.
sorry, Hoss. My mom made me bring.
My mom's making me bring him. But so I like these backstage dynamics
Yeah.
that are adding to this build. They're doing a really great job this time around building for the Super Showdown. They're putting a lot into this. I think those Australians are going to be happy.
Oh yeah, I think everyone's gonna be happy.
But that leads into an amazing
Oh
match.
man, this match was.
If you're going to go back and watch Raw, this is a match that you need to check out. Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins. Wow. Now, we were talking the commercial break leading into this. We already know Seth Rollins is a workhorse.
Oh yes.
We know that he can go. Like, he starts just exploding around the ring. He hits like a suicide dive out of nowhere, and then he just runs back and does it again. He didn't do that in this match, but he does things like that. So, match opens up, and it's just an extremely quick, exciting pace. Crowd's into it. I'm into it.
I'm into it. I'm pretty sure everyone watching is into it. The fans were into it.
Check it out. But Drew slams Rollins on the apron of the ring from. So Drew goes around and he pulls the stairs out from the ring, about a foot from the ring, and I'm like, oh, what's he gonna do? Is he gonna throw Seth into them? Is he gonna pick up the top piece and use it as a weapon? Which apparently doesn't DQ. I don't think.
Yeah, it does.
Does it?
Yeah, it's a weapon.
Well, why doesn't it DQ when you throw them into it?
I'm not sure.
Right.
That is a good question.
Technicality, WWE.
Yeah.
Why is it
Got
not a
some
DQ when you
loopholes there.
Right. But you can okay, but my point is you can use parts of the ring as a weapon.
Yeah.
And in this case, I thought he was going to do that. But no, he takes Seth up to the stairs that he moved a foot away from the ring. He picks him up and he slams him on the apron of the ring. That's the hardest part of the ring because that's where all the yeah.
Oh, that's where all the metal is and everything.
Yeah, like
no
if you,
padding.
If you look at a wrestling ring without the canvas and everything on it, there's like these metal support beams, like probably a foot high, that are holding up the sides of the ring. So when you throw someone onto that, it hardly moves at all, like the center of the ring does. So you're just taking that hit, and I just cringed when I saw that. That was brutal.
Halfway during the match, we cut to Baron Corbin watching backstage.
Oh right, yep, kind of seeing what's going on there.
Yeah, he's looking at him.
But do you remember when Drew tried to hit like a clothesline, and Seth kind of ducks the clothesline, grabs his arm, and then spins it into like a
Yeah, the Falcon Arrow.
Falcon Arrow? Yeah.
That was amazing.
You need to go back and watch that. So Drew sets him up for this clothesline. He's like Irish whipping him into this clothesline. He grabs his arm, spins around, lifts him up,
Seth is just so quick and so powerful.
and he just makes it look so clean. But in his own way, it's like a mixture of like cruiserweight, powerhouse kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And everyone is just like going nuts at this match. So check that out.
And we have
Okay, so here is where I get a little PO'd, right? So I think Seth is gonna win it. Mm-hmm. And again, I'm thinking like maybe Dean could come out, but then I was like, Dean didn't come out for the previous match
Yeah,
with
for
Roman.
Roman.
So I'm like, okay, Dean's not coming out. And the Roman match just ended, so I was like, okay, this match is probably just going to end with a pinfall as well. And I thought Seth was going to get it. No,
Here comes Dolph.
Dolph Ziggler.
And I really like this because Dolph comes in the ring.
Yeah, he
I
actually.
thought he was gonna hit.
Dolph literally runs down. He enters the ring, and you think he's going to hit Seth, and you think it's going to be a DQ, and I'm like, are you kidding me? But nope, he slides out immediately.
On some SmackDown 2 stuff.
Yeah,
with Paul Bear.
yeah, he's just in the ring, out, and then
The Claymore kick, 1, 2, 3.
and then it's over. And then I was like, you know what? That was awesome. That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I like that finish. And
But then
Roman comes out to even the numbers.
yeah, because Dolph and McIntyre are kind of beating on Seth at that point.
And
They're kind of kicking him into the mat for like a couple seconds, and then Roman comes out, and he's kind of fighting back for Seth, and then
Braun comes out.
and he's like, "Hey, Hoss,
Time to get these hands.
it's Hoss."
And then the three of them start beating down the two, which leads to Dean Ambrose coming out.
And because they kind of let it, yeah,
Yeah, they come in and let it build. Like, is he gonna
Right.
come out? So he comes out with the axe handles.
yeah.
axe
What's
handle.
up with that?
I don't know why they don't use kendo sticks.
Right, they're way.
Like, I'm used to seeing kendo sticks.
Or
not
why not
axe
just use an
handles.
axe? I don't
Yeah.
know. Like, where do you find an axe handle? I don't even know. Without the axe on it.
I got a weapon for you. Picks up an axe. What's
Oh,
this
whoa.
What's this doing on here?
Bink.
Yoink. This is what I need.
Should have did kendo sticks, but we get it. We don't want to murder people. But still, it's just a weird thing. Like, why not a baseball bat or something that doesn't have that piece that you have to remove?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Dean comes in, cleans house for a little bit, but then Braun gets the axe handle away and just demolishes Dean.
Yeah, and Braun is just good at that.
Oh yeah.
It's-
Get these hands.
Hoss.
Awesome.
And then that ends, and we get a commercial break, and then okay, so they're like,
Oh, this next part.
so basically, go back and watch that Seth Rollins Drew McIntyre match, and then just keep watching because this is where Raw just gets amazing. So just before the commercial break, you see Elias tuning up his guitar, and Kevin's there next to him, and he's like,
you got all this stuff back here?
yeah, he's like, I got my triangle waters, which is literally just a triangle of bottled waters. He's got his spinach, and he's got some kind of like,
He had the it was cashews, but he wanted almonds or something like that.
and then he's like, so he throws the cashews in the guy's face, and I'm thinking like, oh no, if someone did that, I'm allergic to cashews. That'd be dangerous. But no one else thinks that unless you're allergic to cashews. So then I'm like, okay, well, this is going to be fun because anytime you see Elias and Kevin Owens, they're just such a good pair. But I had no clue it was going to be
Oh man.
this nuts.
Oh man.
So if you check Twitter, you probably know a little bit about this. But commercial break, come back. Elias is in the ring with Kevin, and he's doing his normal thing, playing his guitar, and Kevin's kind of there, and they're just such a good pair. They're
They
really
are.
funny. They're assholes.
And then Elias drops the bomb.
And the point of this is to build the John Cena and Bobby Lashley
Yeah.
versus Elias and Kevin Owens, and they're kind of trash talking John Cena and Bobby's team that they don't make any sense, right? Like these two together don't make any sense. And then Elias is like, they don't make any sense, like having a basketball team
In Seattle.
Yeah, right.
And in case
And
you guys don't know, the Seattle Supersonics used to be in Seattle, but then they became the Oklahoma City Thunder.
And apparently
leaving.
Apparently it was too soon to bring this up.
I have never heard that much heat since Roman Reigns beat Undertaker.
Yeah. So when Roman Reigns beat Undertaker, it was iconic. What city was it in? Was it in like
I think it was in no, it wasn't Philly. It was
whatever? They were just tearing apart Roman, and David and I haven't seen like the crowd go this nuts and boo someone so much. So after Elias makes the comment about the Supersonics, you can't even hear them speaking anymore because the crowd is just booing them nonstop. I think you were in the kitchen for a minute, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh. And then Elias is like, you need to turn my mic up because you can't hear. Like Kevin and Elias have to keep going about how Bobby Lashley and John Cena, suck and they can't beat them and they're a weird pair. but the crowd isn't letting them speak because they're just booing them so loud. And then WWE turns on the lights to see the crowd because it was dark like Elias's thing, and then Elias was like, "You turn the lights off. I don't want to see these people."
Expert heel work. Expert heel work.
Yeah, and they really like on the fly. I don't think they realized how much
Yeah.
of a reaction they were gonna get. And then eventually Leo comes out, and he's trying to talk about how awesome John Cena is. And you notice how like they're still booing at this point, even though Leo comes
know.
out. They're supposed to stop and cheer for Leo or whatever.
Yeah.
But they're not because they just don't care. And could you tell that Leo was getting really thrown off?
Yeah, he was not
He
expecting.
was trying to do his little clever thing, and he could not like hear himself or something. And he
I
kept
mean,
it,
I gotta give him credit. He powered through there.
he did. Yeah, I don't know what it's like to try and say something with all those people yelling like
Oh,
that, but
man.
he was getting a little tripped up. And then eventually Bobby Lashley comes out and he faces Kevin Owens.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed right off the bat, Kevin's targeting Bobby's shoulder.
Yeah.
He's working the shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And he just kind of focused that. Bobby Lashley got a couple of counters, and you know he was kind of trying to hold his own, but I was just still thinking about that moment,
Oh man,
the Supersonics. Like
that.
there was just so much energy in the arena.
Yeah, from it. Oh man, like I would thought that arena would have been dead after the
Right.
Seth and Drew match, but that just revitalized everyone.
And people ask me, they're like, who don't watch wrestling or maybe did as a kid, they're like, how can you watch that? They always say like it's fake, right? It's fake. I'm not gonna get into like maybe we'll do a special segment about why we enjoy wrestling, but just to give you a little piece, it's moments like that.
Yeah.
Those unexpected moments where
Something they thought would be, oh well, this is gonna make
Right.
someone hate them, but it turns into gold.
yeah,
And that is
and these moments where the crowd is just like the crowd is everything for wrestling. If you have a dead crowd the whole time, wrestling is not fun to watch. Really.
yeah,
So there's moments where everyone's like, "Whoa!" Legendary, and that was just one of those iconic moments. That's probably going to be part of like those little award shows they do
yeah.
because that was just nuts. Because
That-
the actual match, Bobby Lashley versus Kevin Owens, was quick.
Yeah, it was a decent little match,
Yeah,
but I think they didn't expect the first
way.
segment to go on so long that talking and stuff. They didn't expect it, but
now Kevin gets the win of the schoolboy.
yeah, after Elias puts Leo in
Oh,
a
yeah.
full Nelson.
Well, first of all, I don't know why, but Elias goes after Leo, and Leo's
Oh,
just like
man.
dipping and weaving like he always does, sliding under his legs. He's quick. He's a really
yeah,
quick guy.
he is a cruiserweight.
And then he grabs Leo and puts him in a full Nelson.
making him look like a little kid.
Yeah, it's sad. And then Bobby was distracted, and Kevin goes for the schoolboy. And then at that point, they're aren't they beating up on Bobby Lashley or maybe not? But I was just thinking like, is John Cena going to come out? Right
Oh
now?
yeah, I was thinking that like John Cena has to come out.
You would think, right? Because John Cena's about to have this match, and he should build it up. Just the same reason Shawn Michaels is there later the night, you know.
Yeah,
But nope, no visit from John Cena.
no
Sorry,
big match, John. I guess it wasn't a big match.
he doesn't really need to be there. He's an icon now.
Yeah,
You know,
he's a draw.
yeah, he's gonna draw fans regardless. But it would have been nice to see him. That would definitely get you more excited about seeing that match because
Yeah.
he's an icon.
Yeah, like compared to other matches, it's not being built up as much as the
No,
other
not at
stuff.
all.
So that would have helped a lot.
But it's a big deal for John Cena to come back and do a thing. So, but you know, he really hasn't. He's not like Undertaker where you only see him once a year or something.
Yeah,
So he's still pretty relevant, and he comes back every month or whatever. So,
yeah,
and then after this match, I didn't know about this match. It almost
Yeah.
seems like they didn't even bring it up
like I
until
just
then.
thought it was gonna be
Shawn Michaels, right?
Shawn Michaels for the rest of the night, but we have Bailey and Finn versus Alicia Fox.
Well, Finn in her corner.
Yeah, Finn in her corner versus
Alicia and
Jinder in her corner.
yeah, right. And this is to promote the.
Mixed match challenge.
And I didn't know this either, but the mixed match challenges are only on Facebook. So you log on to Facebook
Yeah.
and there's like a video section, right? and you
Yeah.
can go in and watch this program.
The
And
live stream of it.
yeah, and I know they were doing this kind of stuff with other sports. Like there was like a Phillies game that you only got to see if you watched it on Facebook or something. So they're kind of building that, and that's, I mean, that's fine. I love the mixed match challenges though. I think
Oh,
those-
yeah.
I think those are awesome, and I love how they're building it up and they have these really cool teams. Alicia's just, she's crazy.
Share your love.
Yeah, she is just nuts. But I think because Jinder is supposed to, I mean, he's like intense, but he's supposed to be like this Zen meditation guy. It's kind of funny. Alicia will like meditate for a second in the ring, like collecting herself. That's pretty funny. But I remember this too. I've been saying this a lot tonight because it's been happening. But from the off the bat, like Alicia is really moving quick, like kind of running circles around Bailey a little bit. And Bailey's not slow, but she's just, Alicia was really moving tonight.
Yeah, hit a beautiful Northern Light suplex.
Yeah, right. But ultimately, Bailey wins with the
Bailey to belly.
Bailey to belly. Belly to belly suplex for a finisher.
Yeah, when you said that, when I said that, you just looked at me. You're like,
Yeah, I
really?
didn't know that was her finisher. I mean, I've seen it before, and I just didn't remember. But I was like, David, she just won with a belly, and you're telling me that's her finisher, and I'm like, whoa.
I mean, sometimes she does it off the second rope, and that'll be a better finisher.
Yeah, yeah. Thoughts on a belly to belly for a finisher? Let's hear you. Okay, so then after that match, we know it's time for Sean, and we're excited.
Oh yeah,
We're thinking at the very least, Sean comes out, he says his piece, and we're happy to see Sean.
yeah.
It's over. 10 minutes in the ring, do a little promo, be funny, Sean, and it'd be cool.
Yeah.
No. We get so much more. You need to go
man.
back and watch this.
Oh man, I thought the Elias dropping the Supersonics was the moment of the night.
Right.
No.
And it was already good. It could have ended
Yeah.
there.
It was good.
So Sean comes out, and he's talking about the match, Undertaker versus Triple H, Super Showdown. They seem to be banking on this one last time.
Yeah.
This is probably going to be the main event of the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And then, what happens?
Kane's music hits.
Kane comes out, and I'm like, oh, man.
Yeah, I was thinking like Kane would come out.
Yeah.
Because Kane's like the secondary.
I was trying to
as
keep
well as
expectations low because Sean coming out alone is awesome, but it surprised me more than you, I think. So Kane comes out, and it's the classic Kane, right? so you think he's walking down, Sean's looking for him and trying to enter. What happens?
Kane pops up.
He's right behind you.
Kane, it gotta be Kane.
Rest in peace, Paul Bear. You made everything. You were the legend.
Kane.
You can go to hell and die. So he's behind Sean, and again, this is amazing. Sean, Kane, it could be over right there. Love it. Nope.
Because Kane actually made his debut during a Shawn Michaels match. With
Hell in a Cell,
Undertaker.
right?
Yeah.
Hell in a Cell, Undertaker,
Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels. Yeah,
Kane comes out. It's like,
scary.
like everything came full circle.
Kane is scarier than Undertaker. to me.
oh, yeah. Especially when he first took his mask off and like he just started wrecking everyone.
Yeah. Kane has always been a scarier character to me. I mean, it's exciting when Undertaker, the lights drop and all that. It's a slow build, but yeah. So then you think, okay, the night's over. Sean, Kane, awesome. I'm ready for Super Showdown. Lights drop.
Undertaker.
Gong hits.
Bong.
Undertaker. Undertaker comes out, and then again, you're like, oh, shoot. Undertaker, Kane, Shawn Michaels. When do you get to see the Brothers of Destruction in the ring?
Yeah, you don't
When
get
is
that
the last?
often.
Yeah, that's iconic. And then, all right, show's over. No, Triple H comes
Bow
out.
down to the bow down.
So now in
to
the ring,
king.
Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Kane, Undertaker,
All of 'em
iconic. They kind of
start-
scrap a little bit.
Oh yeah,
They do their thing.
Brawling.
Undertaker picks up Triple H, kind of wobbles a little bit. I was nervous, but no. Ultimately, he gets the tombstone, and
Brothers leave.
yeah,
I am hyped for Super Showdown.
I am too. They did such a great job.
They built up so much stuff.
Yes,
They made me actually want to watch like all the matches now.
right. I'm ready to go now. 5 a.m. Are you ready for that?
Give me some coffee and I will be.
I don't know if I don't work that later that day. I would be down, but that's tough. we'll have to play that one by ear. But I'm happy to watch it later. Great. Anything else to add?
Overall show performance grade, it's a 4 for me. 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, that Elias moment was awesome.
Yeah.
Him and Kevin Owens. The Seth Rollins match. The ending with those icons, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, Kane.
And just like the stuff between with like Alexa
It was
Bliss.
a good flow.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Good show.
And clearly the job was to get you excited for Super Showdown, and I'm excited.
It exceeded.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're tapping out. Thank you for listening. Let us know how we can improve the show. We're just kind of starting out. And leave some comments on YouTube. We're going to eventually move this to podcast. We're going to have some guests on there, but we're just kind of getting our flow first. We're going to be reviewing Raw for a little while, and then we might move into pay-per-views and SmackDown. And remember, always go for gold. Thanks, guys.